Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's Maria Semple of the Prospect Finder. And today we're going to be talking about how to automate your marketing, specifically your email marketing, so that it'll free you up for additional time to focus on your business. Those of you that registered know that I asked a specific question at the point of registration about what your greatest marketing challenges are, and many of you answered that time was one of the issues that you all have. So hopefully today's webinar is going to give you some ideas on how to get back some of that time so you can focus on doing more of what you love doing and what you're good at doing. And so a couple of housekeeping tips before we get started. As you know, you're all muted. So if you do have any questions going along the way, feel free to type them into the chat box and I'll be sure to get to those questions at the end. I'm also going to be sending everybody who registered a copy of the slide deck from today, so that if there are any points that you want to review, you'll easily be able to do that. I'm also recording this session, so if you have others in your company or your nonprofit who might need to, understand about some of these tips about automation, I am going to be putting this up on my YouTube channel, so I'll be sure to let you know about that. And the follow-up email is also going to contain information about another upcoming event that I'm doing specifically in New Jersey. So for those of you who are in the New Jersey, New York area, I'm doing an event in mid-March on March 15th at the Rutgers Club that you might have an interest in. It's a half-day event called the Marketing Strategy Day, and there are 3 of us that are speaking at that event. It's a hands-on workshop. And it's also included with that is going to be some additional coaching after the workshop. So I'm going to also send you a promo code to save on Constant Contact if you're not already using Constant Contact. So be on the lookout for that email that's going to come this afternoon after this session today. So let's get into this. If you need to contact me afterward, you can see that my email address is here, maria@theprospectfinder.com. You can also find me on social media and so forth. So feel free to follow up if you have any additional questions. My book, Magnify Your Business, is available on the usual online sites like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, etc. Okay, so let's get into this. Marketing has changed, let's face it. And it's a big reason why you're here today in the first place. So some of the change is obvious, but there are more subtle changes that can affect you and your ability really to grow your business or your nonprofit using all of the online tools. So that's a basic shift in the way you may find and keep customers with today's business climate that actually works more in your favor as a small business or nonprofit organization. So let's take a look at this model. It's a typical sales funnel, right? Using the traditional marketing methods, things like print ads, radio, television, direct mail, things like that. But the problem with this is that the traditional funnel can be expensive. Those ads can cost a lot of money, and it's hard for a small company or organization to compete in this landscape. So when you begin using new marketing tools like email marketing and social media, you actually reach people you already know. So on the left side, the funnel, it's all about reaching out to strangers. And new marketing is about reaching out to people that already know you. You reach out on a regular basis with information and offers that are relevant to the contacts. And it turns out that if you do it right, you will actually begin to convert more people than you are reaching because of the nature of social media's digital word of mouth power, and also the power of being able to simply forward an email on. So you grow your base in your business through repeat business and referrals. And I know a lot of you work on word of mouth referrals, right? So this is part of that process. And at the end of the marketing day, it turns out you keep a lot more of your existing customers, so you don't need as many strangers, and it costs less and less time and energy. automation that we're focusing on today is one way you can make this process of conversion a little bit more routine for yourselves. So automation tools, you know that marketing, it's about getting the results that you can measure, really using those automation tools to complement your list growth activities. And it helps you get closer to earning revenue or gaining more donations. And automation helps you steer new subscribers towards becoming donors or customers, and it generates action and information that you can measure, right? Such as it ensures that you'll have an ongoing and timely response to customers who subscribe to your mailing list expecting to receive something in return, like coupons, information, tips, videos, guides, ebooks, slides, free gifts, etc. I think you get the picture. So in a nutshell, automation tools help you get what you want while delivering what they want. And automation tools are going to help you get and convert new subscribers into paying customers or supportive donors faster. And it's all behind the scenes working for you while you focus on maintaining a loyal existing relationship with those customers or donors that you already have the types of mailings that you send out to. So we talked about flipping the funnel by marketing to people who already know you. This type of customer nurturing is beneficial because these are the types of customers and supporters who have chosen to interact with your organization, really in hopes of getting something in value in return. So considering that 91% of people check their email daily, you have quite the opportunity to reach out to your audience and connect with new subscribers who'd like to really convert into a paying customer. And these days, people do their homework before making big purchases or donating. I know I do, and you probably do too. So they research the organization first, look around at reviews others have made about it, and when they decide they may want to stay in touch with the organization or learn more about it, they take that next step by subscribing to the mailing list. This mostly occurs through your website. In fact, 82% of consumers sign up to receive email on the organization or the company's website. And 72% sign up expecting to receive some sort of a discount. So if you can incentivize someone to subscribe to your list, do so on your website and everywhere else you can, because that's where they're going to go first to learn about your company or your nonprofit organization. So how do email automation campaigns come into play here with your marketing strategy? Well, consider that according to a recent study, for every dollar spent on email marketing, the average return is $44.25. So if you want to establish a consistent plan to convert and keep subscribers coming back time and time again to your organization, email marketing is the way to do it, and automation makes it easier. One of the things I often tell people, whether they're attending my seminars, whether I'm consulting to them, or even on these webinars, is some people have a hard time envisioning, well, what is the value of my email list? Why do I need to keep growing that email list? So here's something that you can do for yourselves just as a quick little exercise. I want you all to think about what is the average price point, or what is the average donation, if you're a nonprofit, that you have in your books, right? So whatever that that average price point is or average donation is. Now I want you to think about the number of people that you have in your contact database. So multiply those two numbers, and that is the value of your email list. So if you're ever questioning what is the value of continually building that list, it's knowing that you do have something valuable there. That's why you also don't want to share this list or rent it out to other people, because it is extremely valuable. You own all of those contacts, okay? So in the end, email marketing does pay for itself time and time again. And with a strong and ever-growing email subscriber list and timely automation series, you can grow your business or nonprofit in terms of increased funds, for example, in the case of a nonprofit. So email marketing conversion rates are also 3 times higher than social media prospect to customer rates. Every new subscriber that you collect has the potential to become a paying customer or donor. So before we go any further and really delve into these autoresponder or automated email campaigns, let's get into some of the glossary of terms so that we're all on the same page here. I don't like to really use jargon that you might not be familiar with. So, and I know I myself have a hard time learning something new when I don't understand the jargon. So before we continue, let's get on the same page. So when I say autoresponder, what I'm referring to here is a series of pre-designed automated emails. And they're designed with a specific goal that's triggered after a contact is added to a list, maybe through an online form, or even if you add them manually. So it doesn't matter if they add themselves into your list or if you manually add them, okay? They can be put into an autoresponder series. It is set to mail in sequence after it's triggered, when a new subscriber joins a list or you add their email address to a list. So when I say date-based triggers, what I'm referring to here is any pre-designed emails that are personalized to send to someone on a specific date. So for example, on a birthday, or on the day when they first became a member of your organization, the anniversary of becoming a customer. That's another anniversary type of date, okay? So those are date-based triggers. When I'm talking about a contact and discussing email addresses, referring to the existing email address, you already have stored in your contact management system. So think of a contact as a person you already know, okay? A subscriber refers to a brand new person who decides they want to give you their email address in exchange for something in return. They don't know your organization yet, nor do you have an existing relationship with them. So you need to think of them as people you need to make a really great first impression with as soon as possible. And then when I say the word campaign throughout this webinar today, I'm referring to specifically to the marketing messages you design and send to your contacts. Something that you want them to do, to buy, donate, volunteer, okay? So think of campaign as the thing that you're actually sending out. So the topics we're going to be covering is going to be what is an automation campaign? How do you know if you should even use one? Okay, are you a B2B? Are you a B2C? You know, how do you know? And how is the right way? Okay, we'll talk about how to segment your contact list so that an automation campaign can really work properly. And we're going to talk about how others are using this and obviously some next steps. So I'll give you some examples. So as a small business owner or nonprofit, we know that you don't have a lot of time, as I mentioned earlier, but in today's market, you know you need to market your business or nonprofit yourself. You're here because you want to save time and be successful and competitive in your business without having to sit at your computer all day when you have other things that really need to get done. So automating those communications that you find yourself sending manually all the time or wish you had the time to send more regularly, it's really a powerful and easy way to communicate a consistent and unified message about your company or nonprofit to every subscriber you receive without consuming any of your valuable time or requiring you to wear more hats than you already do. So what are autoresponders and how do they work? Well, they work while you work. While you're taking care of business, your autoresponders will be welcoming your new subscribers into your community on your behalf, and you can rest assured that they will receive the timely information they need to begin to establish a relationship with your business or your organization. When someone signs up for your mailing list, they'll automatically get sent the promotional materials or messages that you want them to receive. So that could be a book or a discount, a video to watch, a downloadable asset like a guide or an ebook, a survey, or simply, a simple thank you message. Okay, so how does it work? An autoresponder can be sent to subscribers after you have added them to a list, okay? Or they've subscribed to your mailing list online from an online form or a web page, okay? Or even through the Constant Contact's text to join feature, okay? So all of these can be accessed in your Constant Contact account. So think about those welcome emails that you sometimes receive after subscribing to a business's mailing list. Some of them offer you a coupon immediately after signing up, and some offer you a free thing like a coffee or a gift in a few days, or a week, maybe even after subscribing. So if you're talking about by date, autoresponders can be triggered to send by a specific date, like an anniversary or birthday. So as we talked about earlier, maybe the date they first became a member of your organization. So what will happen is Constant Contact is going to search the contact base each month for contacts with a birthday, and then will automatically send a pre-designed personalized birthday message that you can craft to wish someone a happy birthday 4 days in advance of their special date, for example. And, in that message, you can try and get them to donate, purchase, buy, stop by, whatever it is that trigger that you want them to do while you're wishing them well on their special day. So that autoresponder is not only going to save you time, but gives you the freedom to think differently about, how to communicate with your contacts. And then after an email trigger, a specific email within a series can go out after an email is sent previously. So it's going to allow you to really set up a streamlined, successive series of emails and campaigns, to really set up an objective. So what's the difference between date-based automation tools and list join automation? And really, what do they even have in common? So the date-based automation makes communicating certain messages on specific dates automatic and timely. Okay, it saves you from having to seek out anyone with a birthday or a membership due, for example, to send them something special. You design the email once, and an automation tool will do the rest and get their special message to them on time, every time, okay? In list join automation, a series of welcome emails which you create once and schedule to send when triggered by new subscribers joining your mailing list. Sometimes you may be hearing about this in marketing circles, referred to as a drip campaign. So as you engage new people multiple times in a sequence after initial interaction with your business or organization, it's really meant to drive a specific action from that new subscriber, okay, while at the same time introducing them to your brand or your organization, and even the types of communications that you send. So each one should have a theme or be working towards an end goal until the series concludes. And you can decide how many emails go into that automated series, and you decide on the cadence. You decide on how much time is going to be sent between the emails. So if you have, for example, you set up a new prospect list, right? So somebody comes to your website, they join your list by clicking on the subscribe here button, and that can send out a triggered series of emails. Maybe immediately they get that welcome message. Maybe a week later you send them a different message with maybe a new coupon or something. A month later or 2 weeks later, whatever that timing is, you get to decide what the message is and how often it's going to go out. So the thing that these two types of automations have in common is that they're created in advance, and they're intended to always be valid or evergreen so that the contents don't become outdated. They are also designed with only one major call to action, or one thing that you want that recipient to do after receiving the email, okay? So we'll say that, let's see this in action, okay? So let's say that someone is searching for a gift or for themselves or someone special. So they do a quick online search for boutiques, and they come across your business, either via social media or on your website. So perhaps a friend who loves your shop forwarded your monthly newsletter to them. So they're interested in the items you feature on your website, but even when more information, or they're going there for more information or hoping for a discount or some sort of a new customer special, and they notice that you advertise a 15% off coupon for joining your mailing list while they're on the website or even through Facebook. So they decide to subscribe. Now, you've made sure to set up a welcome email autoresponder that emails them the coupon to any new subscriber moments after they sign up. Okay, so you make that coupon part of the welcome email. So this person gets the email right away after subscribing, along with some information about what else is in the store now that they've subscribed. And the email thanks them for signing up for the mailing list, okay, and shares a little bit of history about the business and so forth. So you've set the tone for future mailings, and you've established the beginnings of a relationship with this customer. So hopefully the customer is left with a great first impression of the boutique, especially now that they have a coupon. They decide to shop at your boutique with a coupon in hand, and you've been creating a great lasting first impression in the store for as long as you've been in business. With an autoresponder, you've sped that process up. Okay, so that customer leaves and tells their friends, and they'll tell two friends, and so on and so on. So that's the bottom line here, right? Continuing that great word of mouth that you all rely on for your business or your nonprofit. So this could work for you even if you sell online, because in the end, this cycle ends with your new subscriber making a purchase from you, really, or taking that next step with your business. So how do you know if this is even right for you? Let's determine if it's right for your business or your organization, so you can identify ways that an automation campaign is right. So basically, if you're answering yes to any of the questions you're seeing on the screen here, an autoresponder is going to be right for you, right? If they need special information all the time, or maybe there's some sort of introductory info that you send consistently, those frequently asked questions about your business or your organization, right? Really, any of these things that you're seeing listed here on your screen are going to be great reasons why an autoresponder is going to work for your business or your nonprofit, okay? So welcome emails consistently have about a 60% open rate. So you really want to take that opportunity to give your subscribers more of what they're looking for, so they'll keep coming back in that, what we like to call that honeymoon phase with your organization. So welcome emails, we have found, are some of the best performing emails that you'll ever really create. So you really want to make sure you're using them, and you want to make sure that you're really maximizing their potential for you. So these days, as you know, most people are researching before they decide to buy or volunteer or donate. So they're much more discerning about committing time or money to do something, and they're expecting to receive specific information about your products or services really in a timely manner. And those messages help them formulate an impression of your business or your nonprofit with the initial email they receive from you. So you want to make sure that you're steering that impression, delivering really what they want or need immediately. As you know, 89% of consumers turn to search engines to research you before they're going to make a purchase, right? So make sure you have an automation campaign set up on your through subscribing through your website, so that you can capture those leads or capture those potential donors once they've done their research and they've landed on your website, okay? They're definitely going to visit your website, so you may as well have some way to capture the leads once they've done their Googling about you. So let's talk about positioning this content that delivers expectations so that you can make and keep those new subscribers longer for a greater return in your overall marketing efforts. Okay, so how to use it the right way. Now let's talk about some of the best practices that you need to follow really to make these automated campaigns deliver the results you want them to. okay? So we're going to talk about identifying objectives, making sure to use evergreen content, timing best practices, and how to think about segmentation so that you're going to get the goals that you want. So map out your autoresponder emails before you create, before you even create them, thinking in terms of what you want a new subscriber to ultimately do or learn after signing up for your list. So this is the opportunity for you to sort of sit back, take that 30,000-foot view and say, all right, somebody brand new to our business or brand new to our nonprofit, what might be a series of communications we want to send to them, okay? So you want to be strategic with each email that you have in the series, because it could result in something significant for you at a pace that's right for your organization. So it's meant to educate, mobilize them. It's about getting results that you can measure. And when you're designing that autoresponder email, keep it short and straight to the point. You want to go from point A as a new subscriber or prospect as they research your business or interact more with your digital assets. You want them to go from point A to point B, becoming a customer or donor. So make sure that those call to action buttons, those links, those videos, that they're directing a subscriber to log into your online program and come in and visit your store or location, okay? Let's talk about what you need to set up behind the scenes before hitting that schedule button, okay? In order for automation campaigns to work, you have to have organized lists. Organized, segmented lists, period, right? You've got to be able to have the right data in place in order to create these campaigns. So since you can create multiple autoresponder series for multiple different lists, it's important to really keep these records clear. And really one of the best ways to start segmenting is by organizing your list of contacts right off the bat. You're going to create a few lists in your account that will be categorized by your organization's relationship to groups of contacts as buckets, really, for subscribers to put themselves into. So as you title your lists, you want to segment your contacts into making a stranger who could see themselves into your organization. In other words, that they could identify with the topic of that list. So make sure that you're using language that people encountering your business for the first time can relate to. And there's no limit to how you can break up and categorize your lists, but try to provide at least 3 separate categories if you can, right? So notice the email lists that you're seeing here, somebody who's visiting this bisque import business. They can sign up for just event announcements if they want, or they can sign up for all of those categories there. They get to decide what lists they want to put themselves into, right? So they are segmenting themselves. In this example, Bisque Imports, as you saw, was created by what type of mailings they wanted to receive, okay? So whatever subscriber's interest, those contacts will be added to the list automatically, and every one of these lists can actually end creating a separate autoresponder series if you so choose to do so. So don't think that you can only have one dedicated series of emails going out. So for example, there could be in this situation a separate series that goes out regarding event announcements. Anybody who's only interested in event announcements is going to get simply that one series of emails. There could be another subscriber, as you see from the woman in the middle here, she's interested in new product announcements. So that could be a pre-dedicated series of emails that goes out, trying to get her to look at your website for the new products page that you might have set up on your website, okay? So it's a great way for people to stay engaged with you based upon the interests that they have, okay? So when you encounter new people along the way, it's going to be easier for you to manually add those contacts to your account as well. So people that you meet even at networking events and so forth, if you get their permission to be added to a list, try and get an idea of what type of information they're interested in receiving from you so that they'll go into the right automated series as well. So let's talk about what to put into your autoresponder emails, right? So you have plenty to offer, more than you even think, right? So here's just a few ideas of what you can offer to new subscribers in an autoresponder. This is whether you're a business to business, a B2C, business to consumer, or even a nonprofit, okay? The best way to access what you have to offer is really to make a list of all those potential digital assets that you have, as well as the capacity you have to run a promotion or offer ongoing discounts to future subscribers. You'll begin to see an abundance of goodies that you can use. Now, the common thread amongst them is putting the best piece of content or offer in the beginning of a series, really to add that lasting impression that you want to have for your business or your nonprofit. So as you can see, the options are truly endless and really go a long way in capturing somebody's attention. Keep in mind that you want to think about this as something that is evergreen, okay? This is actually a really important piece of setting up an autoresponder series. It's got to be timeless content. It's got to be informational copy that's not going to have really an expiration date, and that's going to require little updating over time. But that being said, just know that you can edit your verbiage in an autoresponder series at any time. So just like you can go in and edit and as you copy emails and make edits going forward, you can go in, it's the same editing tool. You can go into an email that you've set up in an automated series and you can adjust the verbiage. So for example, if you're delivering a 10% off coupon, or let's call it a 20% off coupon in your welcome email, and at some point going forward, maybe 2 years down the line, you decide that you don't want to offer 20% anymore, and maybe you want to bump that down to a 15% off your first purchase. You can go in and adjust that, all right? So I don't want you to think that you're setting it and it's set in stone. You can actually edit it. But you do want to think about not having to go in constantly and make all those changes. So you want the recipient to respond to your message so you don't confuse them with a million things to interact with, because they really won't. Just give them the one thing that they can expect and ask them to do what you have offered them, as quickly as possible. Keep it straight and to the point, short and sweet, and explain to them what they can expect from your business going forward. So if you plan to send multiple emails in an autoresponder series, you can tell them how many emails they're going to get you initially and how often you're going to be emailing them. So remember, this is the first impression someone may have of your nonprofit or your business. You will make that interaction as rewarding, uplifting, easy, and quick as possible. And your best content should be in that automated welcome series. It's got the greatest success at driving measurable results for you, and that can really result in lasting business for your organization. When you're thinking about scheduling and the timing of how often to schedule these emails, once you've mapped out a short series of emails and designed them, the next thing you need to do, as I said, is to think about the timing. So deliver that message in a timely way so that each email in a series is a reminder or a gentle nudge toward what your end goal is for the subscriber to take. So you'll send multiple emails in an autoresponder series to nudge them along. But you don't want them to be too frequent or too infrequent where they'll forget about you, or that they've forgotten perhaps that they've even signed up for your email list altogether. So start the series off with that welcome email. Tell the subscribers how many they're going to get. And then think about how often you send your regular emails. Do you send weekly? Okay, so your regular emails, I'm not talking about the automated series, I'm just talking about your regular email marketing. If you send out on a weekly basis, you need to schedule your autoresponder sequence to send at least the welcome email and another one within 24 hours of having subscribed. So that way, if they happen to subscribe the day before you usually send your welcome email, a new subscriber would already have some context, okay? Again, if you send out once a month, you may want to do 1 or 2 a week to stay top of mind. If you typically send out bi-weekly, okay, you want to think about the timing of how often you're going to send something out, okay? So you may want to think about a series that's not going to be too frequent so that people are going to feel overwhelmed. So you do need to spread it out by a few days to give some breathing room. And then if you're sending mails infrequently anyway, or just occasionally, schedule your autoresponder in a consistent way so that they're not surprised and caught off guard when you do decide to send one of your regular email campaigns. So if this kind of sounds like you and what you're doing right now for your business or your nonprofit, you might want to send 1 per day for a week, but make sure that what you're offering is really going to delight that new subscriber. To try and compel them to take some sort of a call to action with your business or your nonprofit, okay? So let's take a look at some of these particular examples here. I've got an example here of a business-to-business, a B2C, and a nonprofit. So in the business-to-business, right, this company called Building Aspirations, what Mark is delivering here is a series of emails with the videos embedded in them, right? And so he's providing immediate value by video number 1, and he's telling them in the email, remember, keep an eye out for our e-newsletters, including the 9 videos in the email marketing tips video series, right? So now people know, here's a thank you, here's the first video, and keep an eye out for the additional videos coming forward. Okay, here's the second example here is from Liberty Jane Clothing, right? Thanks for joining our email newsletter list. They've got links to free patterns. They also have, she's asking them to visit the website. And she could easily be here including a coupon. That wasn't done in this particular example, but this is something that could definitely be done, whether you're talking about delivering a promo code they can use in your online store, or a coupon at the bottom of the email that they can literally print, clip, or just show even on their mobile phone, walk into your place of business. And with this nonprofit example here called Canine Assistance, they're talking about, thank you for joining the list. We don't want to overwhelm you. And they're saying, in the meantime, if you'd like to learn more about our organization, watch our quick video done by our founder, or visit our website. So again, the call to action here is pushing them to learn about the organization through the video, or visit the website to learn more information there too. So these are all just real simple examples, and I'm sure you've got a ton of ideas for yourselves as to where you fit in here. Okay, a couple of do's and don'ts. Remind them they've subscribed, and always provide that clear way to unsubscribe. Obviously, if you're using Constant Contact, that unsubscribe button is at the bottom of every email. You might want to tell them how many emails they're going to expect. Set that email to go out immediately after joining. So that welcome email should go out right away. Make sure it's evergreen in that follow-up message. And, some sort of a thank you offer in the initial email is nice. And don't forget to brand it, okay? You want to make sure that your color, your logos, your name, your mission statement, whatever it is, make it consistent with the branding. Any of you who have perhaps undergone some sort of a rebranding recently, if you've completely changed your websites, I know a lot of people, a lot of organizations in the last couple of years have been doing that to make their websites much more mobile responsive. If that is you and you have not changed the branding on the templates that you're using for your email marketing, you really want to make sure that you keep that all consistent, keep it all looking the same, so people really have that look and feel of doing business with the same company or organization. So some of the next steps that you want to take, okay, in recapping this: determine how it can be used, think about those clear calls to action. What is the goal? What is the thing that you want somebody to do with the email they're receiving? Think about your lists and starting to segment them out and offering people the ability right on the sign-up form to self-segment into the type of information they're interested in. Keep that content evergreen. You can shift it and adjust it going forward, but remember, this is about saving time, so you don't want to have to be always going back and editing this series, okay? This is almost like a set it and forget it, right? You can adjust it, but just know you want to keep it as evergreen as possible, and definitely determine the timing. So in addition to the slide deck, I'm going to send you all today a free autoresponder guide, and that's going to go into a lot more detail. It's going to be a little bit of a handbook, if you will, that's going to really be able to kind of hone you in on some of the specific strategies that are going to be right for you depending on what type of business or organization that you are. So definitely be on the lookout for the email I'm sending out today. Don't forget, I've got that event coming up March 15th in Piscataway, so this is an awesome opportunity for you to really focus in a little bit more on your marketing as well. And you know, we're still technically, right, we're still in this first quarter as here we are looking down the barrel of March, but yeah, it's here already, and we're going to be by the end of the quarter before you know it. And I will send you all a promo code for savings if you're not already using Constant Contact. I encourage you to just give this a try. You can do a 60-day free trial. The promo code is going to get you 30% off your first 3 months of Constant Contact if you want to lock it in and take advantage of all the features that they have. So at this point, I am going to open it up for the questions, and I'm going to take a look at the chat box and see what questions might have come in while I was speaking. So we have a question that says, how do you manage removing subscribers who have converted to customer off the prospect list? How do you manage removing subscribers who converted to customer off the prospect list? Okay, so this is why you really do want to keep things as evergreen as possible, right? So even if they are a new subscriber, what valuable information or tips or coupons can continue going to them because they're part of the series, right? You don't want to necessarily have to remove that new subscriber from the series, but how can you write that series and drip on them in such a way that it's valuable but not seem dated, or not make it seem like they are no longer just a prospect but they're a subscriber. However, if somebody has now converted to customer, right, you can put them into a new series of emails, right? So if you want to do that, you can certainly do that. And there are, if you have integrations with some of your shopping cart systems that integrate with Constant Contact, for example, if you have those integrations set up, definitely call your customer support team and see if the other outside tools that you're using may be able to integrate with Constant Contact. If that's the case, that might be able to trigger a separate series of emails. Otherwise, you can always manually add somebody's name as a current customer or current subscriber, as opposed to just a prospect, and that can send a separate series of emails to them. So I hope that's clarified it for you. If not, just shoot me an email afterward, and we'll go through it. Any other questions concerning how to handle this going forward? Okay, I don't see any other questions coming in at this time, so I am going to just close it out by saying thank you very much for spending part of your lunch hour with me today. I hope it's been valuable for you. Definitely be on the lookout for that email I'm going to send afterwards so that you've got the autoresponder guide that's going to come your way. And as I said before, if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate at all to reaching out to me. So I'm going to close this out by saying thank you, wish you all a great day, and definitely stay in touch. This is Maria Semple of the Prospect Finder.